What is going on, family? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. My name is Dr. Brian McElderry, former pharmacist turned holistic life and business coach, speaker, and author. On this channel, we talk about all things life mastery, minimalism, and entrepreneurship, all to create an abundance of love, money, and impact. So if that sounds good to you, if you are here to get your life in order, to get your finances in order, to get your relationships in order, to have career transitions, or maybe even to start a business of your own and understand the intricacies of that, I want you to go ahead and hit the like button really quick. Pause the video, hit a like for me, small investment that I would ask of you, as well as hit the subscribe button and turn on those notification bells, because hey, sometimes these videos get lost in the sauce and I want to make sure that you don't miss a video that I produce that you can get value out of. So that being said, you can check the links down below in the description further if you want to learn more about my story, why I started this channel. I've reintroduced myself. I was formerly here on YouTube, and now I have a redirection, a different message I want to share with the world. So you were here for a reason. I want to go ahead and jump into the value. Let's get into it. So you're here right now because maybe you are in a current position to where you want to leave the current industry that you're in. Maybe you want to pivot and transition careers. Maybe you want to leave altogether and start fresh. However you came to this video, or if you feel like someone else will benefit, maybe you're just intrigued, like I haven't thought about it, but I want to learn the steps. Where should I start? I want to go over 5 different ways you can ask a different question to yourself to get yourself in the right mind frame of what the next steps are before you just jump ship. A book that I will recommend for you as well is called The Big Leap. All of my book recommendations, as well as my book, is down below in the description, so you can go ahead and check those links down below. But let's go ahead and get into the first step, really the first question that I would ask if I were considering leaving my current position that I'm in. So number 1, you gotta ask yourself, what is actually frustrating you? I know many people get upset, they're not feeling value, they're not feeling love, they're not getting paid enough, they just are unhappy with what they're doing. And in 2020, and I think previous years, it has been suppressed, but now it's emerged to the surface to where a lot of people feel like, is this really what I want to do? I know I've picked a path, I've been here for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years plus, and I just do not enjoy what I'm doing anymore. And that's perfectly okay. So first of all, give yourself a pat on the back for just acknowledging you. Give yourself some grace to say, I've acknowledged the fact that I want more for me. That's number 1, before we even start into the official steps. But number 1, I've got to ask you, and you must ask yourself, what is it actually that's frustrating you, right? I don't think we ask ourselves that question when we are unhappy with a current position in our lives. What is it distinctly is frustrating you about your current position in your career or your job? Is it the fact that it's another entity that is, not valuing you, whether it be the boss, your coworkers? Maybe it's the actual skill set. You've gotten bored with it, right? And that is okay. So ask yourself that question first. What is it that is frustrating me? Then we can move on to the next step. Number 2, you've got to understand that you have leverage right now. If you have a job, there are so many people without jobs or careers or even a way to take care of themselves. You got to give yourself some type of praise to say that I am blessed in this moment, but also, am I leveraging the moment that I'm in? If you're making a substantial amount of money right now and you are just unhappy and unfulfilled, I need to ask you, are you leveraging that? Meaning, are you having a plan, quote unquote, for leaving? That means that you have cut back on expenses. That means you have made bigger investments because you have extra funds. Maybe you're living well under your means, so you have extra income to go out and explore these new endeavors that you may have. So are you leveraging the current situation? That's just financially, but also you can leverage the knowledge base that you have. So if you're in a current position, and just say you want to transition into maybe another space, what can you learn right now from the people around you, the leadership, the intricacies of how the business is being run in general? And especially if you want to start your own business, there are policies and procedures that have been at that corporation, at that company for a good amount of time before you were even there. So maybe you can take hold of what that company or that current position that you're in is doing well and saying, hey, I want to bring this with me. And of course, protecting information, right? But bring this with me, literally the knowledge base of what they're doing in that moment, so you can take that and leverage that for yourself. Number 3, many times we don't ask ourselves what we actually want. When we're unhappy with a current position that we're in life, a current season that we're in, we're just fed up with everything, right? And we're just trying to break free from that pain, that unhappiness, that unfulfillment, right? But we don't ask ourselves on the other half, what is it do I actually want, right? How do I want my life to look like? What do I want to what gives me joy? What new skill set do I want to learn? What type of lifestyle do I want to live? Am I okay taking a pay cut to start my own business? Am I okay transitioning and pivoting into a new position that actually doesn't pay as much as before, but I'm happy, right? We've got to acknowledge and accept that we've told ourselves what we want and we're striving towards that. So that's number 3. Ask yourself what you actually want. Number 4, I want to ask you, where can you start right now? Ask yourself that as well. What can you start right now where you are? I see so many people that are wanting to leave their current position, but they're confused on what next steps are. That's a mindset shift. That's a mental reframing of what your ideal life looks like, right? Because you're conformed to a certain way of operating in your life. You go to work, you open up your laptop right now, you do what is asked of you, you're doing what your roles and responsibilities are for that particular position. And you're conforming to that. It's becoming very monotonous. It's becoming a little bit too easy, and you're getting bored, and you don't see an end goal. You don't see purpose in it anymore. So you must ask yourself, well, where can I start right now with what I want to do next? So if it is starting a business, you can begin sharing your knowledge before the business is actually, quote unquote, off the ground, right? You can begin starting a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog. There's free marketing on these social platforms, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for some people. You can start on these platforms and begin leveraging those platforms and sharing your knowledge and testing out the market to say, okay, these people are actually receiving what I am saying and they're getting value from it. Maybe there's something here, right? Maybe there's a pain point that I am able to solve with the knowledge that I'm sharing. So let me keep doing that. And then as we do that, we're developing the business model as we go. So whether it's a service-based business for most people, you can start that right now. Coaching, consulting, speaking, you can leverage your current knowledge base that you have and begin getting paid for it tomorrow, the next day, right? You don't have to wait until the business plan. Of course, there's foundations in business, right? And I have resources for that down below. There are foundations that need to be set in place, how you're gonna take payment, contracts, setting up the type of business that you want to have, whether it be a DBA, sole proprietorship, or whether you start off with an LLC or S Corp, whatever kind of situation that you're going for. Or for some, they're just wanting to pivot and transition into a different industry, a different space. You're like, Brian, I'm not built to be a business owner. That's just not in my DNA. I just don't want to do that, right? So what you can begin doing is immerse yourself in this new industry. So are you in the evening times, as they call it, right? The 9 to 5, the 5 to 9 grind, right? You can begin immersing yourself in this new industry, in this new space, researching, doing, analytical work about, is this something that I want to go towards? Is it something that intrigues me? And really, is it a problem that I continuously see myself trying to solve every single day? If we don't have problems to solve, if we are not intrigued about the problems that we're trying to find solutions for, that's when we go by the wayside in our purpose, right? The thing that we're called to do, the person who we're called to be, it begins to be very much faded, right? We don't see the fulfillment in it anymore, which is why you're here watching this video. Maybe you don't see fulfillment because you don't see an end goal. You don't see the problem being significant to you anymore. You don't see where you fit in the grand scheme of it, right? So you can begin immersing yourself in this new industry, in this new space. Begin making new connections with people, right? We're here on this earth to connect, whether it be virtually or whether it be in person. We can still find value in human connection. So don't be afraid to ask somebody where you want to be, whether it's changing industries. Hey, can I just talk to you? Can I quote unquote pick your brain and just ask questions for a second? Or whether you're trying to get fully immersed and you say, hey, I want to give my financial resources over to you to teach me what you are doing right now. Apprenticeship, mentorship, coaching. It is so valuable to learn from a person where you want to be, right? Because they've done it. You're skipping quote unquote all the steps. They're guiding you along the way, and that's valuable. I can tell you from experience, right? My clients as well are skipping a lot of steps that I made because I'm guiding them along the way. The fifth and final piece that I have for you, and I'll leave you be, is that you must have support. Who is your foundation? Who's your rock? Where are your people? Where's your tribe? I see so many individuals that are trying to make this leap, yet their spouses, their families, their friends, they're just not in support of that because they don't understand. Maybe they're content with where they are, but you are wanting more for your life. But yet you're remaining complacent because you love those people. And it's a battle of, do I let this person go for my own selfishness sake, right? I want more for myself. Is that so wrong? So you must, again, find your tribe, right? Where are those people that you're going to begin getting a little bit closer to? Proximity is power. So where are those people that you can begin getting around a little bit more? Even in virtual spaces, there's so many groups. I have a support group myself. I have support groups that I invite people to all the time. Is it a connect group that you can join? Whether it be a Facebook group virtually, maybe it's a meetup if you're comfortable during these times that we're in at the end of 2020. What is it that you can do right now to begin getting around the people where you want to get to, right? It's crazy what the proximity will do to getting closer to your goals, because you're consistently, again, the power of immersion, you're consistently talking, you're consistently, in that space where you want to be. So you begin feeling a little bit closer to that goal. So you're more inclined to do the work every single day. Okay, so hopefully these steps helped you in some way. Maybe I'll make a part 2, a part 3, a part 4. Let me know down below in the comments if you want more granular details on how to transition, start a business, leave the current position that you're in, and pivot into something new. Right? So let me know how this helped you in some way. What I would love from you is just go ahead and hit that like button again. Share this out with somebody that you feel like needs to hear this message. Here are these 5 steps that you can implement right now very simplistically, and then we can move on from there. If I can help you in some way, all the resources will be down below in the description box. But until then, I will see you in the next video.